Fire it up, footballers. Fire it up, footballers. James here, coming at you. Got a lot to talk to you about this week. We'll be discussing coding, watches, Swiss watches, or other watches as well. Maybe even buy a watch on stream. Let's see if the pressure builds. Last Ronin, a live review, specifically Last Ronin, The Lost Years, and also a live unboxing of BRZRKR. Keanu Reaves Comic. 2 volumes, actually, about 2 volumes. Live unboxing, and we'll go through them there a little bit as well. So exciting, awesome stream planned. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for covering for me last week. Angus McCorder, the Archduke himself, making an appearance all the way from St. Louis. What is going on, everybody? MLS, of course, starting up in 10 days. Count them, guys, 10 days. Nashville and New York City will, of course, lead the slate for MLS. You could catch the action on MLS Plus on Apple TV for around $79.99 if you have Apple TV and you pay for the Apple TV subscription, or as a standalone at $99.99 US. Pretty much sounds like a bargain in my estimation. I mean, you get the entire league, every game from MLS, no blackouts. Incredible. One of the first deals of its kind, truly, where there is not a single game blacked out on the schedule in your package. In addition, you get the playoffs. You get everything with that MLS package from Apple TV. I like it. I'm excited about it. It starts up here in 10 days. It's already actually got programming on there. It's got soccer programming. I suggest you check it out if you already haven't. And we'll be watching along in the MLS season via Apple TV. Let us know in the comments below if you got Apple TV and if you think it's worth it, or if you're already suspicious. Let us know. I had some comments on an older video saying, I got it, and they loved it, and I love it. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Then I had another comments on that same video saying, no, I'm not going to get it. Never. I wonder, it probably wasn't the same guy, but could you imagine it started a burner account? And then one week they're like, I'm not going to get it. And then next week they will. Well, that is maybe sometimes the MLS fan, you know. But hey, we got to push this league up and to better places, right? Thank you for joining us here on Spitfire, guys. Greatly appreciate you guys swinging on by, watching, commenting, liking, sharing this after the fact. Hit that like button. Got a fun one for you. So, real easy way. Let's to increase, well, in some ways, but allegedly to increase your salary, 15 to 20K, learn coding. Go out and learn a 4 to 6 month coding program with, I don't know, Northwestern, Cornell, Google, through Coursera. There's a number of options, and through this, you could potentially learn coding and line yourself up for a little promotion. I don't know. It's something that I've been looking into. I don't think I'm actually going to end up going with that route. I might end up going a different route. I'll discuss that on another day. But to me, this is not easy, but a real quick route to getting a better payday. And when I think about teachers and I think about the jobs that the amount of sacrifice and the stuff that they're going to have to go through just to make measly 50K, and versus what you could stay at home, make double that, take your dog out, take your family out, and live a healthy lifestyle. It presents a big dilemma from a working standpoint, but not for those who are ambitious, right? So we'll take a look at what's up. FC Neo Tokyo, we got DBG saying half the time it doesn't work. I'm more than likely going to get it. It's not a bad cost for the amount of games, says Angus. So Apple TV, not a bad, I mean, $99 if you don't have Apple TV, $100 for 34 games of your MLS club, right? Plus 27 others that are in the league, and the likes of Shaqiri, Chicharito, and other MLS stars like Vasquez and Ariat and Ariata, right? What is it? Simpsons. Ariata who? Tokyo saying I love the Denicate. Thank you, brothers. But so there's SQL, there's Python, there's Java, and if you learn Java, basically you can learn it all real quick.
But you're going to learn the basics of SQL querying in just 15 minutes.
The basics.
More sophisticated. Can't they write the SQL queries for me? The answer to that is yes and no.
I wonder about with ChatGPT and all the AI stuff that's coming in. It's gonna be crazy with coding. I wonder ChatGPT could possibly even be better coders than coding. So I mean, I wonder about how many coders are needed. Weren't there a lot of coders laid off in the tech world? Are they finding new gigs? What's going on there? But all the same, I'm finding that you could use these in a lot of the day-to-day jobs, not just like those technical those jobs out in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, right? You could use this in some of your it just literally maybe tack this onto your resume, maybe add in a couple other things that you've done well or that they've had to rely on you. And the one thing I've been thinking about in resumes is it's who's reading these resumes. I've been reading these resumes because I have to read resumes as part of my job. And it's how do you separate people? How do you figure out people? How do you learn who people are from these pieces of paper? Well, it's so hard, right? So in trying to get new jobs, I've been experimenting with various forms of resumes and trying to get it so that, so a person can read that, get an idea of who I am and, bring me on for a lot more money and me to improve the organization, help them us grow together and improve. That's the plan. Listen, as long as you got skills in the world and the oldest profession, no robot will ever put you out of work. That's the thing, right? Robots, they're coming for a lot of things, but they still need people to click the buttons, type the buttons, code.
Yes, when it comes
program.
to requesting data for
She's
different
saying, laugh my ass off.
graphs and tables that you might want to present in dashboards. In these cases,
I already know what I want to learn.
Data
Make more money potentially. I mean, just add a little skill to the old resume, right?
Compiled from the FIFA video game.
I thought this was interesting because he uses the FIFA video game too.
Today, we're working with a SQLite database that I found online, containing data compiled from the FIFA video game by EA Sports, so soccer stats. I'll leave a link to the database in the description if you want to play around. If you want to play around with it too. In terms of the tool I'm using to query the database, it's called NaviCat. It's the premium version that allows you to connect to and query pretty much. What you want to do is write SQL queries and ask the database to return specific data from this table.
And therefore show that you have some sort of mastery over the coding and the understanding of coding. Just some basics,
I'll open
right?
a new query window.
And the funny thing is, I mean, I've coded, I've had to use Amazon. They have a backdoor coding website that you could use, and you could send various types of apps and things to it. And I've done some hardcore stuff on the back end for some various little secret projects that I don't want to necessarily talk about because, but all the same, I realized that in doing so, I have coding experience and putting together like these things because I had to learn how to do it in order to make these things happen. To basically send APIs to send a order from one site to somewhere else to make something happen, come back with an end result. And
now
that's coding. And then I realized, oh shit, I've done that. Like, so I mean, little simple thing you could do online in the background. Couple nights a week, bam, make extra 20K. I don't know, something seems like a decent idea.
When we're asking for data, we're using
rather than going to master's school and getting your teaching certificate or going that route. I mean, lots of ways to make a buck in this world, right? But
what's called
but they're ever changing, and I keep interrupting this bastard. Sorry.
Select statement. So that's what we need to write first.
All right, what the fuck did he say?
When we're asking for data, we're using what's called a select statement. So that's what we need to write first. And if we want to return the whole table in the result, we do so with a star. Then we specify the table that we want to select everything from. In this case, the table called player. Select star from player. Then we run the query.
We'll
and the
check
database,
the database
returns all data from that table. You may notice that I've written everything in lowercase because the SQL isn't case sensitive.
Doesn't matter.
However, I have the option to what's called beautify the SQL.
Makes it
And
easier to
when
read.
I do, you'll notice that select and from have been capitalized. Although it's not obligatory, this does actually make your queries easier to read. It's not so important with such a small query like this one, but when you've got one...
Didn't the Microsoft AI admit it was spying on workers' webcams and became obsessed with one of them? They had to shut off the AI. I thought the Microsoft AI there, it was getting too smart. They had to like go into Skynet with the axe, Homer Simpson, straight out of the Treehouse of Horror films.
With tens, if not hundreds of lines of code, it really does make life easier. So we've selected all fields.
And the other thing is, if you use Excel, if you use Microsoft Access, even Microsoft Word, I guess to some degree, because this is available on there. Like there's functions and codes and stuff like that. You're probably familiar with this, vaguely familiar with coding. And that's what it is.
Or columns, and all rows from the table.
Simple maths, as they would say in England.
If we only want to select specific fields? Simple. Instead of the star, we just...
Don't worry, guys. It starts like this. It's going to get hotter. Woo! I got some fun stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, boom. Let's get back to it, though. Boom, boom, boom. Just some hints. Sorry.
Write out the field names we want separated by commas, like this. Player...
Right now, we're learning how to make money. This is the work part to get to the play part, right? Open up the free time. Open up the pocketbooks. Increase the watch collection.
Comma, birthday. I run this and
buy a
those
couple
are the
gifts for the
fields
wife.
returned. When we select specific fields, we can also rename them by creating aliases. To do this, we use the as function.
Yeah, I don't really care about that.
Let's go back to all data.
So they changed it to like, oh, look, it's his full name. Okay, cool.
Look now at how we can ask the database to only return specific rows in the result.
Yes, we want to find out such an
use
information.
A where clause with different operators.
This is the critical part. Literally, you're going to make bucks right here. This is where all the money's made.
So we use the equals operator.
Where weight 190. So it's going to find anybody who's equals 190.
Select any player with a weight greater.
But if you want to get greater than, you got to add that to the code.
Than 190 pounds or greater than.
Bam! Now you got it, right?
To 190. You see, it's not that complicated. And we've gone from over 11,000 records to just under 1,000 being returned.
He's going to look up Leo Messi and Ronaldo here too. As part of an example.
Also specify more than one condition by using either and or. So weight greater than 190 and height greater than 190.
And of course they use height, I guess, in like inches or some shit like that. I don't know. It's not stones. So that's English for weight.
Both conditions must be met.
Look at this coding. So select from the table, from player, and then checks all these for these. Checks for 190 weight. Checks for height 190 above.
I change it to or.
Runs the code, and now you've just put about 5 extra G's in your pocket just from what you learned right there.
It means that either condition must be met in order for the row to be returned. So that's selecting rows based on the value in integer fields. What about when it comes to text values? Well, we can also use the equals.
Give this guy a like, by the way, Adam Feiner -learn BI online.
Operator to find any row where the text matches exactly with what we specify. Player name equals, in single quotes, Aaron Galindo. But we could also use the like operator, which achieves the same goal.
So we could find one person in out of many, needle in the haystack. But what if they have a error in their name? What if someone accidentally spelled their name with an E there?
We want to select just rows from all players called Aaron. So basically the player name field starts with Aaron. Here we can use a % character after the text to look for, like so. and we get all Aarons returned. If we wanted to find any player name that ends with Aaron, we put the % character before. Nothing that ends with Aaron.
So no Hank Aaron.
We could put a % before
In soccer.
and after, which would basically mean any player name that contains Aaron. And we've got Rolando Aarons. Finally,
There we go.
here's an example.
So you add the wild card, and we found Aarons. And if you actually change those wild card spaces, you could change where what it covers. Basically, you could make it where the O is, and that way, if there's an error where that O is, you'll get everybody with an A, and you'll probably come up with that
which
Aarons.
puts the % in the middle of text. So here we'll return all rows where the player name starts with A and ends with N. You can go even further with the like operator by using underscore to represent single characters. An example would be like T_M%. So the underscore is asking for any rows where the player name starts with T, then any character between the T and the M, followed by anything. And run. We've got Tamas, Tamir, Tim,
Tom,
etc. There are also things called wildcards that allow you to go even further when specifying the rows you want to return, but we won't go into those for this video. We will, however, finish looking at the where clause by talking about a couple more operators that you can use. For text fields, we have in, which allows us to specify multiple or statements more simply. However, it can only be used for exact matches, so we can't use percents or underscores with it. So let's look for Ronaldo and Messi. Open brackets,
Why not?
Cristiano Ronaldo, comma, Lionel Messi.
Boom.
For integers, we can use the between operator. So I could say where weight between 180 and 190. Finally,
Interesting.
we have the is null and is not null, null being empty. In this table, we don't have any null values. But if I open up the match table, we can see that there are lots in there. So select star from match, where home player 1 is null.
What will this help us do?
Or is not null. There we go.
Oh, wow, there are people. Interesting.
Let's go back to our player table and
All right, so I think that's enough of the coding. We've learned basic SQL in about 10 or 15 minutes. Wow, I mean, take that to the bank, right? All right, guys, let's move on to watches and research. I've been getting into watches lately. I've been hearing from my buddies that they've been getting into watches too. And how to build the perfect watch collection, right? Like, you know, it starts with like the budget. First off, you got to find out what fits in the budget. When what's not going to make the wife too upset if you go out, and also you got to maybe stage these, plan these out, not get everything all at once. But let's ask Teddy.
Is build parameters and kind of restrictions around a collection, because I know when it comes to people out there, there's different philosophies, and ultimately when it comes to budget, there's just limitations that come with watch collecting. So with this video, what I want to do is look at how could you build a watch collection with just trying to pick out 3 great watches that cover pretty much every scenario. And now there are
Right, and so for example, you got your everyday guy, got your fancier watch, then maybe you got your interesting complication.
a variety of ways to think about 3 watches that cover every scenario, but for myself, this is what I would consider it. So we're gonna have a dress category, something a little bit more office oriented, or for those scenarios when you have to wear something a bit more formal. Then you have your sports category, which is going to be some type of complication, or is going to be something of a diver that is going to allow you to have maximum versatility in more sporty types of environments where you really need to push your watch to the limit. And then to have another additional add-on to that, I have a beater in some instances, because we're looking at 6 different price ranges. Calling some of these a beater is probably a stretch, but just a watch that's going to be a smaller percentage of our total budget, but it is going to be able to pretty much take a beating no matter what you throw in its direction. So for our price categories here, we have 6 different ones we're going to look at, and just remember that this is the total amount for all the watches and their prices combined. We're looking at retail prices here, nothing that's discontinued, so new watches, and then also having that be the total. So when I say the first one, think about adding all the prices together to equal that total amount. So not to be confused with each watch is worth this amount of money. So first we have under $1,000, then we have $2,500 as our second category, move up to $5,000,
Casio.
then we have $10,000, then we have our $25,000 range, and then to round it out, we have our unlimited budget, stretch where money
under
is
1G.
no issue whatsoever.
Let's start there.
So 2022 has been an amazing.
Anytime someone talks watches, all I can picture is that business card scene from American Psycho. Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh man, and when they're comparing the cards.
Amazing year for
That
watch
movie's
releases.
messed up.
2 of my favorites this year that I also want to highlight, available on TeddyBaldassar.com. One
Great.
price category here, we have under $1,000.
By the way, TeddyBaldassar.com. Boom. Go to all brands, shop all brands. No, let's just go to all watches. And let's go under 100. Yeah, there we go, under 250. While we listen to Teddy.
Video looking at how to build
Fudge.
dollars. I know you could probably go even cheaper on watches here, and I would definitely say that there's
Timex,
great options
G-Shocks.
to do so. But I wanted to start out here because I think this still gives us a nice budget, and we're talking about 3 watches, and they all have to total be under $1,000.
Right.
For our first one, for the dress category, I want to look at the Orient Bambino at 38 millimeters. So this is a
Oh shit, I skipped major stuff.
size. These watches are simply fantastic. To get the Hamilton dollars, then we have $2,500 as our
let's listen
second
to this.
category. Move up to $5,000.
And you're saying I quit wearing watch about the time I started carrying a cell phone. So that's the thing. Watch sales gone down. I was watching a video saying that digital watch sales, Apple watches, account for the most, maybe the most sales of watches right now, and they tend to compete with the introductory market, those fossil watch areas. You know, that $100 to $300 price range. A lot of them are competing. The regular, quartz watches are competing with these digital watches. I don't have a digital watch that connects to my phone with the app, but I have heard from my friend that, he wants to, it's become too connected. He's become too connected to his phone, and he actually wants to switch back, but he thinks he's going to have a hard time switching back from his digital watch to a regular timepiece.
Then we have $10,000. Then we have our $25,000 range, and then to round it out,
Jesus, I mean, who has freaking 25 to drop on a watch unless you're Mr. Wonderful or something like that? Jesus.
we have our unlimited budget, stretched where money is no issue whatsoever. So 2022 has been an amazing year for watch releases. 2
One can dream, right?
of my favorites this year that I also want to highlight, available on TeddyBaldassar.com. One being the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. And
Archduke recommends that go cheap on watches. Go to a third world country and just purchase a fake Rolex there. You're better off. If it's mechanical and has a good movement, and maybe they copied off like the Grand Seiko move or the Seiko movement, that'd be interesting. It depends what movement's inside that fake Rolex, right?
titanium. These watches are simply fantastic. To get the Hamilton DNA in a field watch,
Hamilton just went up like $100 in price of $100 15 days ago. Don't ask me why, but they all went up $100.
a titanium case. It's lightweight, so you get that, I would say, just the effortless feel that you want from a field watch. But also from there, sapphire crystal. This one also has 100 meters of water resistance, which is a nice step up from the mechanical models in that entry-level format. When you're talking about only 50 meters, you have to go for the auto for 100
Whoa, Nightbot.
meters. And you get a few different dial colors to choose in that 38 millimeter size, which would be the one that I would personally go for. You have black.
38 millimeters probably fits his wrist the best, but it depends what your wrist size is, right?
You have green, which is very different compared to the traditional format. And then you also have the
this is 41.
concrete version with the black PVD case. Another model I also mentioned is going to be the Tissot 1938 telemeter. This is a watch.
Look at this, guys. I love this one. This one is like, oh, this is like Homer Simpson drool. Oh my gosh, I want this. This is one I would love to add to my collection, but it's not inside the budget anytime soon.
Watch that looks back to the 1930s archive of Tissot and infuses a value movement on the inside, and coming in a price range under $2,000 for a Swiss-made chronograph. One of the most attainable options you're going to find. Also, if you like just 1930s telemeter style, and telemeters are pretty cool,
So
complicated.
that's the white face. That was the other one was the black face telemeter. They both look really good. I've seen Neo Tokyo saying the only time I ever rocked a watch was back in high school. Had a pocket watch on my chain wall, dude. Some gnarly pocket watches out there. That I saw one earlier. I was like, oof, pretty gnarly. But I couldn't imagine a situation where I'm like, I got my vest on, unless it's like my wedding, and boom, pull out the pocket watch, or you're down playing Monopoly or something.
In terms of timing different events, something to both be seen and heard. An example is lightning. So once you would see the lightning, you get the chronograph.
The thing about watches now is they're different. What this watch is different. It's more of, I feel like it's more of a statement of, it's a tool. So this is a tool, and it's crazy how connected we are to our phones sometimes. And for me, it helps me disconnect from my phone, so I'm not so reliant on my phone. Everybody is like, yeah, I got a phone, I got a watch on my phone, I got to watch my phone. Yeah, we sure do have watches on our phone, right? But when I look at that watch on my phone, maybe I'm more inclined to open up the phone, go check out Twitter, go check out Reddit, go searching for something that I don't necessarily need. Versus when I look at my watch, I get everything I need. Oh, it tells me the date. Oh, it's the 15th. Boom. Oh, it's 7:53. Oh, it's 7:33. Good to go. Boom. And I don't need to deal with the threat of text messages and WhatsApp and social media. I think that there's a benefit in that with watches. It's almost like camping. So what I like about camping is, at a certain point in camping, you gotta turn off your phone. Like it's just like it either dies, or you want to turn it. You want to save that battery for emergency, so you do turn it off. And you put it away. And to me, a watch is kind of like camping. In fact, you need a watch for camping. I would not recommend going camping without a watch at all. Something like this, right? Look, it's got like its own it's got its own compass. In fact, you could program it, press a button, and we'll be in the middle of the woods, and it'll be like, got my watch up. Where are we? Oh, shit. Don't even have to, boom. Don't even have to worry about the phone. 10 years of life, battery life on that, good to go. So, I mean, that's what I see in the usefulness of this tool, this watch. In addition to, rocking nice little bracelet. I want a James Bond-esque diver watch, but like that's way on down the line. But this, I felt like, kind of gave me that 60s or 70s style bracelet that you see in some of those older films, the Sean Connerys, and it appealed to me. I must say. And I was getting into watches, and I pulled the trigger, and the white Mrs. Spitfire was not too pleased that I did it without consulting her, as she, the various circumstances, but boom, it happened, and we're living in a new world here. So I have my own little watch collection, thankfully. My own 3 watch collection. What is yours? This gets me through everything, every day. Fancy. And, just like running out to the dog park or something.
And then once you hear the thunder, that would tell you how.
Oh, man, that chronometer is just so gorgeous. Look at that.
Far away that specific strike of lightning was. 2 different dial colors to choose from. You have the more blackish green hued dial that is very classic 1930s telemeter. And
that looks beautiful. That'd be the one I think I would want. But I love
you have
the blue
the white silver dial.
I love the blue ticky things. See, I'm not the best technical. I'm not the most technical watch expert. I can say I have a watch with a compass. I can navigate without a compass because I know where the sun rises and sets. Never eat sour wheat, right? Never north, eat east, south is never eat sour, south, wheat, west. That's how, right? I have a watch with a compass, says Archduke. I can navigate without a compass because I know where the sunrise and where certain stars are. That also helps, right? Like at nighttime, how are you going to tell without the sun? In the morning, sun rises in the east, sets in the west. In the afternoon, it sets in the west. And in the evening, what are you going to do with the stars? You got to find that North Star. You got to know which one is the North Star. And Angus saying, even though I never wear it, of course I never wear it, but you know, they do have those Casios and those you know, those G-Shocks that, you know, you just press a button and it glows. And also these have lume. I think that like if they shine a little light on it, and they'll have like, you know, 8-hour lume. So like I'll be in the dark and I can tell what time it is essentially.
With something that's a little bit more contemporary in its approach and not so vintage in its aesthetic. Check them out both on TeddyBaldassar.com. So for our first price category here, we have under $1,000. I know you could probably go even cheaper on watches here, and I would definitely say that there's some great options to do so.
You could even go more expensive, but let's start there.
But I wanted to start out here because I think this still...
But the other thing is I want a mechanical, right? So this is on quartz. And quartz, it just keeps running on its own. But a mechanical, you have to wind, or you have to have a self-winding mechanism that maybe if you haven't worn in a while, you'll have to rewind yourself. Or you could get like a box that just twists and turns. There's all sorts of stuff with watches. It's so freaking cool. I know there's people that are into like, you know, knives and getting cool knives. There's people that are getting cool glasses and sunglasses. All kinds of little hobbies. But I'm liking this watch one.
Gives us a nice budget, and we're talking about 3 watches, and they all have to total be under $1,000. For our first one, for the
some people like tattoos, collecting tattoos.
Dress category, I want to look at the Orient Bambino at 38 millimeters. So this is a new release for 2022.
That kind of looks like this, so that fulfills my need. I'm ready. Boom. And I got a black band that I could swap it into. I have the tool.
Long awaited, the Bambino has been on the market for 10 years. To finally see this watch now and available in this size is great, but long overdue to say the least.
$250 for that. That's about this as well, between $250, $300, depending, you know, sales for this nice fancy looking Tissot. There's a fancier upgrade that like the it's like a something 80, but it's a mechanical, but that's about $600 if you want to go that route.
38 millimeters in terms of its diameter, thickness of 12.4 millimeters, and a compact lug to lug of 44 millimeters, making it wear very true to that 38 millimeter size.
There's also a gold version of it, like a gold plated.
F6724 movement on the inside with great ranges of deviation in terms of every single one I've tested. These are running really solid out of the box compared to some entry-level Seikos and other Citizen watches out there using those Miyota 8 series movements. These watches are more expensive than previous iterations, and if you have not...
Look at that nice like pearl inlay of that face. That just looks real nice.
...seen what has happened with Orient prices,
And I like the sharpness.
Be aware that the prices have gone up about 20% across the board, at least in the United States. So this is something that they're doing. I think parts have become a bit more expensive with what's going on in the world. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But even for around $250, it's a very hard to beat proposition.
And you're saying I would not pay that much for a watch. I'm a bit rough on them. So yeah, maybe like G-Shock, Timexes. Timexes are American made. That's something that I love about the Timex. And like you could find one for 20, 30, $10 at the old Walmart or on the old Amazon. Or a good Casio for the same amount of money, 10, 20, 30, $40. There's Casios out there that are a little bit more expensive though, that'll update every night and have automatic perfect time. They sync with the world, they send like a radio signal out and they sync up to world time perfectly. It's like, that's kind of cool.
Dress watch.
And then you could use that to set your other watches, say your mechanical watch, say you wake up, you want to put your mechanical watch, you got your nice little G-Shock that gets updates every night. Boom, check it, set your watch, boom, you're ready for the day.
Now for our sports...
That's what some watch people do.
Category, this is where I want to stretch a little bit more, and I think for where this watch falls, it is absolutely phenomenal. And this is the new lineup of watches from Seiko with the SSK 001, 003, and 005.
Do you like that orange, that blue, or that black? The orange has like a slightly copperish, goldish bezel, the lettering on the bezel. Meanwhile, like maybe steel on the other bezels, blue bezel, black bezel.
Also known as the Seiko 5 GMTs. These are simply...
I mean, it's hard to justify paying some of these prices when they see these people say $2,000 for what looks like a beautiful watch. I'm like, it looks gorgeous, but $2,000. Like, man, like, couldn't you buy part of a house with that?
Amazing. I think these watches, in terms of when they were released, It's just one of those things where you know when someone strikes gold. Seiko struck gold with these watches. The fact that they were able to roll out this new movement with these watches, it almost just...
And watch guys are all about movements and different movements and various and like unique movements that just... How like you could have 4 gears that go into 1 gear just to move the ticker time all the ways, the right ways.
Flip the scale on what an affordable GMT can now be because of this.
But that's actually that stuff, all that innards, that's what sets Rolex apart from everybody. So all watches might have some errors in their creation. A lot of watches, those mechanical watches, are handmade. That's why they are so expensive. But sometimes, you know, the errors in the process. But what set Rolex apart in the past was that they were so good at making these tools before cell phones that they became the gold standard. And that's where they were able to charge so much money, and they became literally the best for what they were. And eventually they became like a luxury item. But at first they were literally the best watch and tool, timekeeping tool for any purpose, you know, whether it was racing, you know, races, you know, sports races, or making things, factory work, what have you.
It's great to see some new availability for GMT watches under $1,000. Typically, when you're looking at GMTs in this price range, you're looking at for somebody that's doing something with quartz, or you have to spend much more.
All right, Teddy, hit us with the damage. What's the damage on this one?
More to get into some of those entry-level GMT alternatives from Sellita with some of their offerings, as well as ETA, which is going to come way above $1,000 in many instances. 42.5 millimeter case.
$475. I'll wait for a sale.
Pretty conventional Seiko 5 Sports case, 13.
And the crystal's mineral. It's not even sapphire.
0.6 millimeters.
I would not pay that. You know, you want to get sapphire. You want to get sapphire crystal
thickness, which is pretty good. Consider the water resistance of 100 meters and getting a GMT.
By the way, you don't need water resistance more than 100 meters. Nobody's really going down 200 meters or anything past. Like, they have more, but like, that's farther than most people dive on any average dive at all.
On the inside, and then on top you have a mineral crystal with a variety of dial colors and bezel options to choose from. And then to round it off with our beater watch, we have the...
I guess saying I do like clocks though, dude. I love a cool looking clock on the wall. Me too. I have one with phases of the moon, a weather one, one with every world time zone, and an analog one with chimes. Oh man. We used to have a old German style tall cabinet type clock. It was just gorgeous. We had 2 of them, and yeah, they'd tend to go off at the same time and just rock our house, and it was awesome. I loved it, and you know, that'd be fun to get. Maybe I think my grandma had a cuckoo clock at some point, but I think it drove everybody in the house a little crazy, so they did get rid of it, or they changed it. Or it was old and from Germany, and it kind of maybe broke. Or maybe one of the kids played with it because it was so cool. It was so cool, man. It was like there's birds, there was little Swiss children or something, little German children, their little lederhosen, and they'd come out on this, and yeah, maybe it was one of the older kids. Probably playing with it a little too much, because that is not a toy. How are you gonna send it back to Germany back in 1992?
Casio Duro. So the Casio Duro is a watch I've mentioned on this.
I don't like this Casio. I like Casios, but I do not like this. This just looks like a cheap looking watch for me. It's cool, but I don't like the bezel. The bezel is unappealing to me. These Seikos, they're okay. This is the most appealing watch of them all, this Orient. I like this one, but these other ones I'm not too keen on.
It does provide a bit more than what
Let's see what else he's got.
The one that we're looking at here is the Kermit
Okay, the colors there look nice, but still not feeling them.
Styles that you have.
All right, let's go up one.
3. So if you're not familiar with this watch, you know, don't be thinking that you're out of the loop, because this is not a watch that gets mentioned very often.
Looks pretty similar to the one he showed us earlier, right? This one, this Orient Bambino. What's the price, Teddy?
Very intriguing. 39.9 millimeter case.
What do you for $1,100? You get the power to twist your watch and to make it run. However, in the event of, the power goes off, at least your watch is still running for 3 days or so. But for this watch, there's a nice little crystal battery in there that'll vibrate for up to 5 to 10 years. And that's about $200, $250, $1,000 to run your own watch. But that's actually pretty cool. Like it's both a selling point and also like a turning off point to some, because being able to turn and to wind your own watch and to power it, and you can see sometimes it has a power setting. It'll tell you how long it'll run for, some of these ones. But there's something really cool about that. It's running off your power. There's no battery in there. Somebody constructed the mechanics of that watch perfectly for you to basically go in there, twist it a couple times, and plug the pin back, get the crown pin back in, twist it back in, and bam, you're powered up for the next few days. And make sure your watch is set correctly. But there's something really cool about that, I think.
Well, yeah, the lollipop secondhand.
I don't know what yet, but like maybe it's that camping feeling with that unreliance on technology versus this different kind of technology, this older world tech.
And the pops of color, it's a little bit more playful in terms of its design style. You have the blunt style hands and just being a little bit more playful.
Now this Mido Ocean Star, this looks nice. That is that bracelet's okay. What do you guys think of the bracelet? Let me know in the comments. But that bezel, that face, Friday 20, the red and maybe that's an orange second hand. Oh, that looks good.
Overall, compared to some of the other offerings from the brand.
What's the damage on this?
And its total package is still incredibly well done. I think Mido makes a leading dive watch in this $1,000.
It's a great dive watch. I'm not in love with that, but maybe it's different, and I should have maybe get a little different bracelet, right?
$1 price range without question. So this is a little bit smaller as well, which makes this
$1,000. Holy fucking heck. Jiminy Jehoshaphat.
It's great for smaller wrists looking into the direction of Mido. 40.5 millimeters in terms of the case size, thickness of 13.7.
Right. What's your next watch?
Adjustment case variant with the
little
resin
Cassie Oak
strap. Then you also have the metal
G-Shock too.
Bracelet versions as well, which have been incredibly well received to go along with these. This is going to save you quite a bit of money though in the process. You're talking about $200 here, which is great for our budget.
$200 Casio, and this will show time if you want it to. You can just click buttons, but it also shows it. So it's an analog and digital hybrid. Shows the days of the week here. I don't think this is I'm not in love with this Casio. But Agus and I also own an Ancestors pocket watch from circa 1850. Of course, it's just for show. I don't want to break it. Dude, that's so cool. That's like family heirloom stuff. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely keep that safe. Keep that sacred. So I'll show you a couple of Casio G-Shocks that I'm interested in, maybe in the next year or two, add to the collection. Maybe never. Maybe we don't. Maybe I don't. Maybe something else eventually replaces these and catches the apple of my eye, so to speak, and I never end up pulling the trigger on these. But
my name is Josh, and that's what I'm hoping.
This this turquoise G-Shock, man. It does water. It tells you the tide. It tells you the temperature. It tells you sunrise and sunset times for wherever the specific spot you've set it to be set for in the world. And it's a great water. It's a watch. It's a surf watch. It's a water watch. You wear it in the water. Water streams right out of it. It's meant to be worn in the water. To me, it's like a great little vacation watch, right? Boom. You wear that on vacation when you're going to someplace hot and warm where you're going to be swimming a lot. Or for fishing trips, boom, right? I don't know. Just the
question is,
I can see tons of uses for this nice thing. Instead of bringing your nice little metal watch on the fishing trip or going swimming in the ocean, you got this thing.
Do you want one of these? They're only $160,
and they're on sale for like $1.15 on Amazon, so they're actually way less. And I think their price is going down on them as time goes on, as they're going to be the older model, and they'll probably eventually get replaced by a newer model.
Only. Which is interesting because G-Shocks have a wide,
and there's different colors, and like you see how small this is right here versus 1050. Actually, you press a button, boom, it gets bigger and it becomes even bigger. This is just like a certain face on there where it's showing you the tide and all that other stuff.
Wide range of prices. I mean, on the low end, you can get the 5600E for like $40 on Amazon. On the high end, you've got this titanium. camo G, $1,600. Your metal G, this is the patina one. I think it was like $1,000.
It's $1,000 for a G-Shock.
You know, so they just
They have 3,000 Mr. G's, G-Shocks that are like, I'm like, what is so good about this watch that you spend $3,000? I don't know. I can understand maybe $100, $300, get something good and quality, but at a certain point, where is like the quality? It's like the quality graph doesn't meet up with the price ratio sometimes.
vary. And then you have some, so like this NASA one right here, because it's a collectible, it was only like $100, but they're trending for almost $400.
Oh shit!
Because you know people can't get a hold of them. So I think the carbon fiber is going to end up being that way too. Maybe the woody right back there. But anyway, this is the one we're looking at first and foremost.
Carbon fiber is available online right now. You can, but I think they've held the price. They're right around that 220 price of this. And what's cool about this is the one I was talking about. It's one of the ones I was talking about where in the middle of the night it gets an update from the radio frequency. Boom! Make sure to have the perfect time, and you could use that watch to set your other watches.
Maybe the woody right back there. But anyway, this is the one we're looking at first and foremost.
What's interesting about this watch as well, this one, it is also a half hybrid smartwatch if you want it to be. It has an app that connects to your phone. I don't necessarily think you want to do it, but maybe you want to do it once, just like maybe do something, like set it for something, and then maybe delete the app and turn it off. That's what I've heard, but maybe it's gotten better.
Foremost, this is from the Glide.
Notice those notches, by the way. That's where they're saying, like, you know, this is a watch you wear in the water. Water comes right out of there. Good to go.
So somebody help me out. Do you pronounce that Glide?
Glide.
Or Glide.
Or Glide.
I don't understand what it stands for.
Lido Deck.
But they have a bunch of different Glide watches. So if you
whole bunch of different, oh, that's kind of cool. I like these teal colors. No, orange is kind of cool. That's kind of cool, like a tennis ball. I like that. Let's see what else. Oh, I like that black teal right there. Kind of reminds me of a Gusher. Oh, it's like a fruit snack.
You look at
interesting.
So you see how that says Glide on it? So they do make the GLX module that has the tide graph up at the top with the moon tracking and all of that. And so this Glide series is one that has been around for a while, but what they've done is they've taken it to a whole nother level in this GBX 100, specifically with that display. So that,
see how big it gets? I was saying it gets bigger, and that's gets huge right there.
When we look at pros and cons, in my opinion, there's a lot of cons. However, the one pro is that display, and it is such a pro.
Oh, what's the cons?
That it like just towers over all of the other cons to where
really it towers over the other. So literally, it's the pros outweigh the cons, is what he says right there, up front.
I could easily justify getting one of these and putting it in my collection, despite all the negative things that I'm going to end up saying about it. So let's talk a little bit about that display. They call it Memory in Pixel, and it's an LCD display. And in this case,
2-year battery.
It's a negative display, but it is so sharp.
Yeah, it's big.
So clear.
Usually you don't like those negative displays, but that's nice.
That the legibility of this, you know, you get it in full sun, that's not necessarily doing justice. In full sun, I can see this thing and read it without a problem. The numbers are bright enough, light enough. There's enough disparity or change between the black background and the white letters that I have no problem reading this in almost any light, in almost any angle. Let's see if we can get that. Look at that. Still read the time on that. And so this display is just unreal.
That white's nice.
Absolutely amazing. Wait for them to put
I like that
digital display in some of these. Oh, these metal ones.
But I only really need one.
Could you imagine coming to that first, maybe? And the titanium models? But when they put, and I say when because I think it's going to happen, they are going to put this display in a normal G Square, like a 5600, 5610. I think it's coming. I think we just have to wait and see. I also suspect they might make different colorways. So if you look just at my watch box, look at all, I mean, Casio,
I think this guy's onto something.
The G-Shock lineup is known for making a billion different colors and different variants of the exact same watch, right? So
I got a lot of white.
do think that if the popularity is there for these,
Blue, green.
that will continue. Right now, they have a black one, a white one, and a teal one. And this is the teal one. Now, I will say,
Like it was made for me.
Who has experienced this watch and taken pictures or video of it has said the same thing. It looks different in person than it does in the camera. Now, most people will say that it looks better in person than in the camera. I'm going to say that I'm indifferent, and maybe that's just because I don't like the color of this one, neither in person nor on camera. This is is being loaned to me, right? So from a friend. So I've got to say thanks to them.
A little thick.
This isn't my watch.
On wrist.
If I were to get one, I would go black or white. Probably
What would you guys go? Black, white, or teal? I'm going teal myself.
white. And I would not get this teal variant. Now, that is completely personal preference. Though.
Yep.
If you like this, try to experience this in person. Unless $160 ain't a lot of money to you, right? Some folks, that's like, that's not money. I can chance it.
I think it's a lot of money
And
to a
I will
lot of
say,
people.
too, I'm seeing folks in the watch groups I'm in flip these. I don't think they're having as good of an experience as they thought they might. And so I'm seeing guys turn these over. Now, here's one thing I'm not going to talk about. So if you are looking for the technical
You might find some used.
of this and to know how every function works on this watch, I would recommend going to another video. I'm not going to show you that. And in fact, that's a big con for me. I don't like all the functionality that this has. I don't use 90% of the functionality that these have, even their most basic modules. The only thing that I like, I want it to tell the time, and I want the auto light feature. That's it.
Done.
That's all I want. When I twist it, I want the auto light to come on. So this one, I think, has the auto light feature, maybe. It does have this big button right here at the front that you can click and it'll turn the light on. So let me just turn my studio lights off real quick.
Yeah, let's see how good this
does. So you can see it's daylight here. I've got all the curtains drawn, so I got as much light out as possible.
Not that dark, but...
And you can see that I have no problem reading this, right? Like even in the dark shades, I have no problem reading this. So the legibility on this display, I keep going back to, the display is so phenomenal.
Clean.
That it so just kind of trumps all the cons.
I agree.
It makes this watch maybe worth it.
Trying to sell me off of it. I'm still right on it.
Dark, and let me hit this button here. Look at that.
Oh.
Full screen. Now you can change it
Powerful.
between 1.5 and 3 seconds. I think it's currently on 1.5.
Then on 1.5. That way it'll last longer.
It's a longer watch. I'm not.
2-year battery on that.
But yeah, that
imagine using the app.
Is
getting notifications decreases that a lot.
Said, in most conditions, you're not even going to need that because this thing is so legible. All right, let's get back to it. It does, of course, run on a battery. It's a quartz. It's not solar. That's one of the biggest cons that people are talking about.
Man, if it was solar, why is it not solar? That's the thing. Why isn't this G line not solar? That doesn't make sense on a way.
I do think that in the future, we will see solar variants of this watch.
Yeah, maybe even just hold off till the solar variant comes out of this watch.
I do. I don't think it'll be a long time.
But then it'll be more expensive, I'm sure.
Navigate how they put the solar rim around the bezel, around the display case.
Speaking of solar, like that's what I'm looking at with this one.
Casio G-Shock GWM 56.
Right there, solar. This thing does solar. It does it's solar powers. It's good for 10 years in addition.
And the perfect square G-Shock.
It's the perfect square G-Shock.
Second thought, is this G-Shock the best everyday casual watch that you can get?
Probably.
I really think that it might be. Let me tell you about the design, go over its functions and features, and finally 610U features multi-band 6 radio time sync, meaning that your watch will automatically sync to one of 6 atomic time signals every night, which is going to keep your watch in perfect accuracy as long as you're in a location where it's available.
Perfect.
It is
and you're in USA, so boom.
Available in my location, and if I have the watch facing my window, it will sync flawlessly every night at 12:03 a.m.
Or it'll retry.
It will try a number of times throughout the night if it doesn't get it on that first sync. I love the simple black resin case. It has a classic, understated look, and the raised ridge will keep that mineral crystal protected from scratches.
And I actually like that red line too.
Being a G-Shock, this thing is tough as nails.
But the crystal is not as good as it could be. It's not sapphire crystal. I think it's something else.
It also features 20 bar or 200 meter water resistance. The face of the watch
Great for swimming.
itself gets a nice splash of design and color, however. A nice red outline surrounds the display with clear white text for function.
It's ridiculous to charge a lot for solar. It's so cheap to manufacture solar power on small gadgets nowadays.
And gold and blue accents for the feet.
Let's take a look. Casio. Take me to the Casio site because I was there. Casio. So we want to go to all Casios. And what we could do is turn on right down here a feature. Look for solar charged and find the cheapest solar charge watch that they have. $110 for this solar charged watch for Casio solar charged. So in addition to getting solar charged, you click this standard radio reception and bam. Now these things will update with that the radio frequency feature and to have exact time. There's some okay ones here. Nothing that I'm in love with besides the one that I'm looking at, but let's see this. Yeah, there it is. 140 for that. That's a lot. I mean, I gotta wait for a sale. 150 for that? So you gotta wait for a sale. Wait for sale. I mean, big time sale. I mean, the other thing is like your cell phone already does this, right? So it's like, why do you need this if your cell phone already does this? That's the question, right? Angus saying it's ridiculous. This one's kind of cool. Like that nice little blue inside of the bezel. That's all right. Nothing great. But what I like about these Casios is that it's got some cool features. It's a cool tool. Very cool tool. Let's see. I mean, even Baldassare says they're good deals.
Many are quick to jump up to the luxury tier of watchmaking. However, that would be overlooking some of the most paramount watches ever created. And perhaps at the top of that list is the Casio G-Shock. And in this video, we will be looking at everything you should know before looking to buy one of these great watches, including its long history and significance, its different model collections and families, and some top picks from their catalog that are good.
That red one, sharp. Black one, sharp. Gray one's okay. Could be. Maybe I have to wear it.
Choices for certain types of people, and then also why or ultimately why not go for a Casio G-Shock. So with the holiday season here, I did want to let you guys know about any person bunking some of the dive watch just jargon and more abbreviated history, having been conceptualized in the early 1980s. The legend goes that now legendary Casio engineer and then head of design Kakuo Ibe suffered the heartbreak of dropping a pocket watch gifted to him by his father, galvanizing his passionate pursuit of creating a more durable wristwatch for the masses. In 1980,
so it started with him dropping his family's precious pocket watch and it broke. And he thought, I should design a better watch that if we drop it, it won't break, but it could still be good.
Ebe created a set of parameters he called triple 10 resistance, meaning the new watch had to be able to withstand a fall from 10 meters of height, be water resistant to 10 atmospheres or 100 meters, and have a battery life of 10 years. The endeavor proved more challenging than imagined after many iterations of the original.
The triple 10 challenge, guys. You hear that? That's nuts.
Triple 10 resistance, meaning the new watch had to be able to withstand a fall from 10 meters of height.
10 meters of height. Fall.
Water resistant to 10 atmospheres or
10 atmospheres.
100 meters.
100 meters of resistance in the water.
And have a battery life of 10 years.
And 10 years of battery. I mean, it's awesome. And now, and some of these have solar rechargeability.
Endeavor proved more challenging than imagined after many iterations of the original design, but that was until Ebe had a breakthrough when he noticed a child bouncing a rubber ball at a playground and reasoned that the inside of the ball was all but isolated from the shock being experienced by the more flexible outer surface. With the rubber ball as inspiration, EB's Team Tough design team implemented a novel construction where the more fragile stainless steel timekeeping module was set deep within a durable resin outer shroud, specifically designed to absorb shocks before they could impact the
G-Shock
module within. A not insignificant 200 prototypes, and 2 years later, the original DW5000C was released in 1983.
Look at that. It looks so similar to what I'm looking at right now in 2023.
Creating a basic visual functional formula that is still the core of the G-Shock's brand identity. While the new watch was by any means an incredible technological leap forward, the G-Shock was not an instant success. Though thoughtful Casio marketing showing the watch's capabilities against a series of hockey pucks led to the following among police, military, fire, and other professionals working in
doctors, nurses, ER, they love their G-Shocks.
Taxing conditions. Somewhat surprisingly, the West Coast hip hop and skateboard scene also quickly caught on to this watch, and the G-Shock was off to the races, balancing its police, fire, and military demographic with an ever-growing pop cultural following. With G-Shock catching on to the broader scale of consumers around the world, only being rivaled by names of Rolex when it comes to just being known, the
G-Shock and Rolex, two most known watches.
G-Shock has now grown to be an icon of durability and affordability over the course of its 39 years on the market, with
And it's so much more affordable than a Rolex.
thousands of different variants and model families having been released over the years. Rather than resting on their laurels, G-Shock has also continued to innovate technologically, staying true to its form and in its lane while adding functionality including Bluetooth connectivity, tough solar charging, and radio atomic timekeeping for many of its higher priced models. G-Shock has also experimented with stainless steel cases and bracelets, elevating what has always been a more affordable looking visual design concept to a new market position while also more directly challenging traditional mechanical analog watches.
So they're freaking cool. They're pretty darn cool. But I think that's going to end our watch portion of the show. And we're going to move on. Well, before we get to this, actually, boom, man, let's pull it out. Let's just go for it. The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, TMNT. Dig right in. Enjoyed the Last Ronin series. It was very good, very fun, very interesting. Cool new take. It seems to be the continuation. Kaido, Japan. Hello? Okay, I'm good. Kaido, Japan. Get up, foolish child. Get up. Now. Think. Odin 6, Sensei. My tummy hurts. So hungry. You're always hungry. Odin. No, take back. Why? True. Up. Okay. Seems to be young little turtles. Second generation or some sort. They're still young. I almost don't care. So one page in and I don't care. Having a hard time caring. Art is okay. This is cool. Okay. I like that. Kind of weird. No way. I remember that. I was there for that. Yeah, I remember that in issue 1. Why it's recap? Why is it? Yeah, I'm not. Be a cool video game. Cool video game story. Come on. Come on, they would. No way. No way. That's the weird. Okay, guys. Look at this. That ain't it. It's weird. It doesn't seem right. Or I guess he did get punched in the face by Master Splinter. But there's the art direction. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Definitely a bit of a comic guy. The speed run through this. So, I don't know if this is a recommend. Oh my gosh, what is with this? What is with this art? Like, he's like, in this picture, he's totally different. And then this one, it's like another turtle. That looks cool. Little Future City. I don't know. I don't know that if that is a recommend. I do recommend the last Ronin series, but this is the last Ronin The Lost Years. So everything that happened during the last Ronin series that, you know, that they kind of really abbreviated. You could spend a little bit more time there. How about this? Who do you think that is? Keanu Reeves. Yeah, as far as comics go, I would say, well, let me know your guys' favorite comics. What would you guys say is your favorite comics? I would say Batman. I love Batman comics. Batman, and when he's facing off with the Joker, I love those. That is my jam. Mrs. Spitfire has been getting into One Piece manga. And I mean, I've also read it and watch it. We love One Piece. We are enjoying the show One Piece a lot. We are at episode 550 something. We are unboxing BRZRKR Volume 1 here. I've seen Neo Tokus, and I've only ever read X-Men, but I do like Batman, Spider-Man video games, and dude, I do like the old Spider-Man X-Men comics. Grant Morrison, different Grant, very different Grant. The Grant Morrison comics. There's also Joss Whedon ones that are okay. War with no end. A man with no limits. The man, known only as B, is half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. But after wandering the world for centuries, B may have finally found a refuge, working for the U.S. government to fight the battles too violent and too dangerous for anyone else. In exchange, B will be granted the one thing he desires: the truth about his endless blood-soaked existence, and how to end it. Keanu Reeves makes his comic book writing debut alongside New York Times best-selling co-writer Matt Kint, known for Folklords and The Grass Kings, and acclaimed artist Ron Garney, known for Wolverine and Captain America, in a brutally violent new series about one immortal warrior's fight through the ages. Collect Berserker number 1 through 4. Volume 1. Well, I think they just gave away the plot, right? He's an immortal warrior. About the only comics I ever bought was early Batman. I got some early Batman. I got super early Batman. I got the Laughing Fish. Classic Batman before they turned it into a classic Batman, the animated series episode. Chapter 1. Berserker. He looks up. It's time. Time? Time. Time is a funny thing. He's turning into some sort of wizard warrior. How you doing? Getting ready. We're coming in high. Hold on. You ready? Ready. Wait for my mark before we... Shit. You know what today is? No. What is today? No, what is it? It's our anniversary. Art is actually really cool for sure. Definitely some cool art. Holy sh... I don't know if I could show this next part. We've been working together for a year today. Does that feel like a long time to you? Oh, I cannot show this next part. Holy... He puts his fist against people, and they cease to be where they were. In an explosion. Keanu Reeves is crazy. In this, I think we made some progress. What is this? Okay, the art is better. I'm liking the art direction more than I was liking that turtle comic. Holy shit. I can't show you this. Guys, this is like... Holy... Oh, I definitely can't show you this. This is rated R. This is beyond. They couldn't show this in movies. That's why he made this comic. It's Keanu Reeves doing everything he couldn't do in The Matrix, but wanted to do. Holy Nikes. Gosh damn. No. What the fuck? Holy shit, guys. He's just... This is the first episode. Holy, he's just running through an army. Just blow off his nose? DBGC, I have a subscription for Batman since like 2011, 2012. Started in the back in the New 52 era. As far as the New 52, do you guys like I like the Court of Owls. I did like that Court of Owls reign of Batman, where what was it? Snyder? I think it was the Snyder who did some stuff. There's some great stuff. Not Snyder, the director. Different Snyder. There's a couple different Batman writers. The Long Halloween, awesome Batman story. Of course, this is Berserker. This is the Keanu Reeves comic. I mean, guys, if I could show you another page, I have not been able to. I would get pulled off YouTube if I showed you any of the last 20 pages. So I'm not. So I can't. I'm waiting to show you a page. Okay, finally, here. This is like the calmest page. The calmest page. Oh my goodness, it's been absolute bedlam. DPG saying the Court of Owls is awesome, dude. So there was some, and they used Court of Owls for the most recent Batman video game, the Gotham Knights. Gotham New 52. I want to double check the author for that. Was that different than Earth 2? Because those are the Batman 2, Earth 2 comments are definitely interesting too. Also, Gotham by Midnight by Ray Fox. Andrea Sorrentino. No, not this one. I'm not thinking about the Ray Fox ones. All right, let's go. Batman comic, or just do graphic novels. Yeah, graphic novels. Frank Miller, Batman Year One, of course, classic. I really like Batman Hush, but my book was a little bunk. Who is that? Who is Batman Hush? Let me double check. Jeff Leb, Jim Lee. Yeah, that's why. It's good stuff. Batman Earth 1 is definitely interesting with Jeff Johns. He does good Flash stuff, and Gary Frank, great stuff there. Oh, Jeff Johns does the Three Jokers too? With Jason Fabok? I have that. I have the Three Jokers. I could go grab that. It's sick. The Batman Who Laughs, Scott Snyder. That's what I was thinking of. Scott Snyder. He does a good run of Batman. Batman White Knight, very, very cool. Batman Long Halloween, so good. Batman Dark Knight Returns, so good. Batman Damned, I don't think I've read. I read the Joker version. There's like a Joker one of this that's pretty interesting. Batman Spawn, that sounds cool. There's a couple Batman spin-offs that are really, really cool. Death in the Family. This one's tragic. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you don't know what happens, but take a look at the cover. The Killing Joke is, was always long talked about as like this classic. I remember reading it and like being like, whoa, what the fuck? The Batman The Killing Joke, that one's a hard one. With Alan, of course, it's written by Alan Moore, who writes he writes the Jack the Ripper story, right? He does the Jack the Ripper comic. He does Watchmen. Alan Moore does some crazy cerebral comics. And that's what I like about Batman. I also like Spider-Man. DPG saying the Killing Joke is great too. Berserker is like the no. So Berserker is in manga anime. It's a totally different thing than this Berserker with a Z, BRZRKR. It's a different property. Berserker, the anime, I know exactly what you're talking about, and the other various offshoots that it's led to. I was watching some cool video about it on YouTube the other day. Batman Year One, good. Oh man, for sure, DPG. Killing Joke, classic. Let's see if I got a page I could show you in here that's like, holy shit. Like I turned to some of these pages and I'm like, holy crap, what the is going on? There's people getting their legs chopped off and their hands chopped off. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. Holy shit, this is a huge battlefield. This should be fine. I feel like, why can't I show a battlefield? No, it's showing the aftermath. Oh, it's still horrible. Oh my goodness. The art in this is nuts, though. The Berserker. Show a couple. There we go. Yeah, maybe we could show a couple of these. I mean, these are covers. Keanu Reeves. This. I think I could show that one. I told you, this is like, that's just like a hint of like, oh man, it's so fucking crazy. That's a little weird. That's volume 1. Gonna unbox volume 2. Half mortal and half god, cursed and compelled through violence, the man known only as B begins wandering a world anew. After enduring a series of experiments and missions, B's memories of his origins will finally be restored. But what does this revelation mean for his future? Has B finally found true freedom? Perhaps. But when has the US government ever let their best asset go? Should I go grab 3 Jokers? Are you guys interested in that? Have you guys heard about that? I could go grab that and show it to you guys. It is brand new, so cool. And not the best one, but interesting, cool. And what it does right though is it's got a cool. It explains. It explains something huge, a mystery that's been ongoing in Batman since the Joker ever first appeared in comic. It explains. It creates a canon explanation for it. In addition, of course, you've seen there's all sorts of different, so quote unquote, canon explanations for it. Unboxed. He's flying. He's got a kite. Get him. Oh shit. That was. This is randomly turned to a page. We'll randomly turn to another page. See what we get. It's the Bond. Oh, I hated that Joker movie. Dude, I did not actually like that Joker movie. You know, I agree with you. I know a lot of people love the Joker movie. I love Batman. I love Batman properties. But I watched that and I was like, at no point in the movie was like, yeah, I like what I'm doing. I like what I'm watching. This is interesting. Where does this go? At no point in the movie was I watching and like, I wonder where this goes. It wasn't even watching it wasn't even watching a train wreck. It was just at a certain point it was watching it's like watching maybe a psychological watch. Almost like a class. Oh, this is interesting. What is he fighting here? He didn't bring Alan Moore into this, did he? It's literally a love letter. It's to mass shooter, says Nefneo Tokyo. Dude, it felt like that. I mean, like, I don't want to. But it felt gross. It felt weird. It felt like, what are you celebrating here? Like, you just walks on a fucking train and just shoots people. Like, what the fuck is the message there? This is fucking horrible. Fucking horrible. And then like just dances down the stairway, and then I mean, it felt like a lot of just shock. Sometimes it's like shock stuff, and people are like, oh, it's art. Like, yeah, I guess so, but like I also like art that's uplifting, positive. It doesn't have to be all positive. It doesn't have to always be uplifting. It doesn't have to fit inside of some shoebox. But like, man, it was hard for me to find positive value to take out of that one for sure. It's interesting. It's just like he's dealing with some sort of Viking type situation, right? Berserker, Volume 2. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab that. Oh, boys and girls, we got some show and tell time. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Little, there we go. Here we go. The Joker War Saga. Oh, this is different than the three Jokers. I think the three Jokers I have somewhere else. This is different than the three Jokers, but I have that too. Nightwing, what are you doing? Dick Grayson, Signal, Red Hood, Harley Quinn, Red Robin. That kind of looks like Spider-Man. This guy kind of reminds me of Buggy from One Piece. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Take a look at this. Sick. So, anyway. The Batman Who Laughs. Rough comic. Blam, blam, blam. I mean, the ending is just, it's horrible. It's not happy. This is just so fucked up. I did not like this comic. It was, let's see if we can find the crazy page. Boom, boom, boom. Does that happen early? Yeah, it does. They're already battling it out. The Joker. Batman talking it out, but let's see where that happens. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Dude, the Joker's just callous. Horrifying. Did it really happen in the beginning? That's fucked up. Just walks out of the darkness. Yeah. The Joker guy is one scary character. Let's see. This is the Batman Who Laughs. This is not the Killing Joke. But good comic. Batman. This is like the number one. Batman The Long Halloween. This one is a classic. So much you've seen probably. You'd read it and you're gonna be like, haven't I seen this? And they ripped a lot of it for Nolan's Batman series of movies. It's the Joker coming out of the Christmas. That's awesome. That is awesome. Joker getting his 1-2. Damn, man. Joker is crazy. Look at that. You've seen the Joker like that in the animated series wearing the old 50s style pilot hats. Time to ring in the new year. The Harley Quinn, it looks like. Man, Batman: The Long Halloween. The art, the color. Look at the color. It's just dynamic and a joy on every page. There's something new, something going on. Poison Ivy. Is that the mayor or is that Harvey Dent? That Two-Face, which will be Harvey Dent. Oh, can't resist me. Who's this, Bruce? Harvey? It is Harvey. Is that Harvey? Yep, Harvey Dent. Man. Ooh, Catwoman. I'm telling you, this comic, so freaking good. Two-Face. There's just, The Long Halloween is just an amazing. Holy fuck. I mean, look at it. It's like reading a movie. Love it. Batman Hush. Classic. Very, very cool story. If you haven't ever read or saw the movie, this is a cover. So don't worry. But still, what we got here? Green Lantern. Superman. Green Lantern. Superman involved in this one. Superman gets involved in this Batman story. Batman Hush. Boop, 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 ba-doop. Uh-oh. Ooh, what is this? Red Mask? Joker? Holy cow, look at that. Two-Face. Joker. Nightwing and Bats. Tell you, man, this is just the color, the art, Raj Al Ghul, just Batman Hush. Very much enjoy it. This one's interesting because it's Batman the Animated Series. It's Paul Dini, Bruce Timm. You'll recognize a lot of the art style. From the show. And there's a crazy zany one. Well, this is it. It's Harley trying to get the attention of the Joker. Whew. Let me see what I got here. Yep, this is the one. Oh, oh, Mr. J. Let me read you this. Don't you want to rev up your Harley? Vroom, vroom. Joker says no. Joker says no. Okay. And then, I mean, just the iconic. Oh shit, talking mushrooms. Here we go, here it is. Boop boop ba-doop. Boop boop ba-doop. Boop boop ba-doop. Boop boop. Boop. But don't worry, Joker will pay the price later. Batman, Year One. Black Death. This one's crazy little scene where early Batman having to deal with some conflict. Good one. That one is by Frank Miller. Also by Frank Miller. Batman, The Dark Knight strikes again. That eye is just like the fear, the anger, the everything. Oh, what I just saw, I think. This is really cool. Like, what the fuck going on there? Oh, it's a Plastic Man. Oops. There it is. Superhero chick. Going on here? Batman finds some crazy stuff. Awesome. Superman, Wonder Woman involved in this one. Another good one. Then Batman, Death in the Family. Oh boy, no. Jiminy. Sounds wild. See where the Joker makes an appearance. There he is. I just hear Mark Hamill's cackle. Joker. Book 404. The Joker trying to escape. Really too late. Let me check. It is the iconic scenes. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead if you want to mute or just skip ahead 10 seconds because here comes the epic one. Boom. Of course, it's kind of like on the cover. But Batman had to rebuild after that. We're talking with DPG, Batman, 52 Snyder, Court of Owls. See if we got, if we can see Talon. Here we go. Talon. From the Court of Owls that Batman has to fight. This is, of course, early. Court of Owls. Very, very cool storyline. All right, some offshoots of Batman before we get to, let me see. Yeah. Doomsday Clock. Have you ever read Watchmen? It's the sequel to Watchmen. Jeff Johns. It got Alan Moore's okay, so to speak. Let's see if I could give you a little hint. Oh yeah, right here. This is a good page. There's Superman getting blown away by something, and then there's the universes are colliding. Very cool comic series. There's a Flash comic that sets it up with Flash Batman. That sets it up, but it's very, very cool. Have a good evening, James. I got a jet. Have a nice evening. Thank you, Angus. Yeah, I'll be shutting down the stream here soon. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Fortnite, Batman, Fortnite. It happened. We got it. It's a lot of fun. Batman having to scheme his way out of things, figure things out. Have to deal with not being able to talk for a while. And then gets to team up with some of the Fortnite people. It's pretty fun. And also teams up with people, that he otherwise would have. Well, Harley Quinn. Some fun stuff, guys. And I think that concludes show and tell. Fun though. Let me know what kind of comics you guys like to read. What's your favorite comic book characters? Batman, Spider-Man for me. I think those are my favorite. All right. Let's see what we got here. No. Yes. We'll do this to close it down.
Teddy's learning. He's the grasshopper. He's learning from the master. That's the way I look at it. Poo-poo. Garbage. When you're a fashionista like me, you can pick style out 5 yards away.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you could smell him 5 yards away too, can't you?
Yeah, I'm kicking Teddy's ass here. This is
I like him. He's funny.
amazing. I mean, who knew? Who knew? You could go with a cheapo like Teddy and get some great pieces.
Get out of here with that.
Let the shopping begin.
Hear his little laugh.
Who doesn't like shopping?
Weasel.
I'll tell you why. We're in the Bucharest store. This is probably the most beautiful retail outlet in the world for
This would be so cool to go to. But also, you need like $5,000 ready to drop. Jiminy fuck miss.
It's an experience. It's like half museum, half retail store, but it's got tons of brands, and I mean tons. If you want to watch, this is the place to come on earth. However, Teddy has another challenge. Let's be honest. I keep kicking his ass in these things every time. It's true. But he wants to throw yet another gauntlet on the floor, another watch on the floor. He has a new idea I really like. Let's hear it, Teddy.
Anybody could win when you have an unlimited budget like Kevin.
Of course.
I'm going to bring him back down to earth. I'm going to test you today. Limited budget.
Yeah.
$12,500.
Per watch?
No, that's the total of your entire collection. I'm going to put you to the test.
Per? You kidding?
Last time your collection was
$12,500.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
I can do it. There's no question, but luckily we're in a place where they have enough timepieces within that range. And I'll give you some respect on this thing because 2 years ago when I got started on this journey with Teddy, these watches he was talking about, I was just saying, what are you, like poo-poo, garbage. But I've come to respect, because I'm a dial guy, you know, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money.
I like
for me to
dials
fall in
too.
love with a piece. It has to have a great dial. It has to be different than all the other pieces I have. And all of a sudden you started bringing these low-end pieces.
Okay,
I
great.
agree
Yeah.
100%. So that's going to be the theme of today. Same type of setup as last time. So you can choose what you want to do with your money. We'll alternate back and forth.
Yeah.
And we can't go over that budget of $12,500. I want to give you a little bit more
This
than $10,000.
includes
end.
taxes, because we are in New York City.
No.
We're going to exclude taxes, so just to give us a little bit more flexibility.
Got it. Okay.
To take
So we
taxes
look
out
at
of the
sticker
equation.
Price.
Yes.
Now we got to be sticker sensitive here because I want to come up with at least 3 pieces. Maybe 4. We'll see. But let's start shopping.
4
First
pieces
things first,
divided by
you flip the
12.5.
coin.
Last time
He's
I
going to be
flipped, you
dropping
flipped
on
this time.
average
I'll
like
call
2,
it.
5,
You'll
3.
call it. So this is the two
watch,
options
maybe
here. Just like
4,
NFL kickoff,
because he might
NFL
drop 2 on
Sunday.
one watch.
Explain this coin flip.
So the winner has 2
6
options
on
to choose
another.
from. They can either go at the store first, or you can then defer until the end. Then all the pieces will be lined up, and you can do a swap with the other person's pieces.
And the last time we did this,
Sunday, you
Yeah,
have
explain.
2. We flip the coin.
last
Okay.
time I flipped, you flipped this time.
I will flip
I'll
this
call
time.
it. I'll call
You'll
it.
call it. So
Okay.
this is the 2 options here. Just like an NFL kickoff, NFL Sunday, you
Yeah,
have
explain
2.
this coin flip.
So the winner has 2 options to choose from. They can either go at the store first, or you can then defer until the end. Then all the pieces will be lined up, and you can do a swap with the other person's pieces.
And the last
Okay. See, I don't know what the benefit is there.
time we did this, I really screwed him on the swap. And that's how I won that contest, hands down.
I gave it to him at the beginning because I didn't have faith in him. But you know, hey, you did pretty well. I was picking up all the nice pieces, and then Kevin saw what was left over, and he did what he needed to do. But
Well,
none of that today.
Let's do the flip. Let the contest begin. Let the shopping begin. Who doesn't like shopping?
What are you calling?
I'm going to call tails.
That's tails.
Yeah, baby.
What are you doing?
I'll defer.
I don't like how this is already set up. This is
I won
bad.
with it last time. That's why I'm doing it this way.
All right, so I go first.
You do. Let's go shopping.
All right.
He explains his business
So,
tactics.
what I'm thinking-
He lets you know what he's doing.
Thinking about here is I like your strategy
I
of
like those Longines.
trying to pick out, say, 3 to 5 pieces. That's probably where I'm
Tag Heuer.
going to be.
Yeah. And
What do you guys like for watches?
These are in this section of this
Yes.
incredible location,
We had Mr. Wonderful's budget.
probably the best selection of entry-level pieces in the world.
Everything is covered here. Most of the
Entry-level pieces. He's talking about 2.5 minimum.
pieces here are talking about under $5,000 from this corner on. This is in the basement. Under $5,000 from this corner on. This is
Under 5.
in
Okay.
the basement.
So, and if you're looking to buy a watch for the first time, you want to come here. I mean, you can't get, plus they have the inventory, which is a problem these days. So
Yep.
we're at Longines here, a brand that I have a lot
Longines.
of respect for, given that I actually wore one of these pieces on Shark Tank this
Look at that. I like that.
year.
the sector, exactly.
Yeah, it was, and I met them through you, and I bought that in Miami.
I remember. We
That
shot
was
the episode.
fantastic. Yeah,
It was a great episode.
fantastic. It was great. Okay, so you got to go first.
Scanning. I do want to do a Longines. And there's actually something that I saw here, which I was at the unveiling of this watch, and now it looks like they're finally delivering them. This is the Ultrachron. I'm going to do this.
Tell me about the piece.
I'm not in love with it. What do you guys think? 3.7 Longines Ultrachron. It's very clean. Is this a diver? What is this? 300 meters of water resistance? Nobody can even dive that deep. I like that crystal sapphire. As far as the case size, good. So, the lug to lug is where that's the real measurement that you kind of worry about as far as everyone's wrist size goes. But see, this looks a little too thick. It's cool, but I'm not for me.
So the Ultrachron is looking back to a historic
I
reference
think it's too chunky. It's just too chunky for me.
from the brand, but why it's special, 5 hertz movement. So most of their movements are around 3.5
I'm not finding it appealing.
So this is high frequency.
Yeah.
Something like this
But let me know if you do. I'm curious.
NFL Primero as an example. So
Right.
probably one of the most attainable high beat movements you're going to find.
High beat movements, I like that. So what he's talking about is the second hand, just crisp, flying around. So normally they'll go, a quartz is just gonna tick, 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 tick. But a mechanical will just like fly on that thing. Watch.
I think this is right around $3,500. I think on the bracelet a little bit more, but I saw that and I want to do it.
Let's talk about the
That is
style
so
of
cool.
watch.
That movement is
Divey,
great. The
Yes.
movement's amazing.
sportsy.
Yes.
Bracelet's a little different.
I do not like the bracelet. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Morphle. I do not in love with that bracelet. I'm not in love with this watch at all. I would pass on this one.
Yeah, it's more of like a mesh multi-link style
Yeah.
bracelet, but
Yeah.
it's a little
Let me
larger
know in the
for my
comments
taste.
below.
They're indicating here you can go total sport, right? Is
You
that-
could, yep. You can put the NATO on it.
Yeah.
Put the NATO strap on it. I that actually might be a bit more appealing, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be my first pick.
And price point?
The NATO strap actually might look great on that. That actually might look great on the NATO strap. I do not like that strap.
Around $3,500, $3,700. I
Whoa,
believe
so
on-
you're taking a third of your budget right out of the gate.
Why not?
Why
Very
not?
risky, Teddy. Very
What are you
risky.
going to do?
Well, listen,
Yeah.
I'm just pointing
Who are
out
you
the
quick to criticize?
weakness in your decision, but that's all right. I like the piece.
I can
and
never win around here. I don't like this.
There's always risk in every decision. I just
Of course, there is.
out the risk, all right? Portfolio management. So that is your Longines
That's going to be my
selection.
pick.
All right.
Okay, okay.
And I'm probably just only going to do one watch per brand. I'm not going to double dip. And you don't have to do Longines if you don't want
Well, I'm not saying I won't. However, I am getting into a new space these days you should be aware of. The smaller size dial.
Okay.
And immediately catching my eye with this whole red vibe.
I like that too.
to. All right.
Is this, and I think probably very attractive price right here.
Legend Diver.
Legend Diver.
Now I like this. Look at this. I'm not in love with the strap. The strap could use a little work, but the color looks great. But look at that face. Look at that clean bezel. Look at the lug to lug. I'm liking this. And I like that case size too.
What is that, 36?
36, right on the money.
So I'm thinking Legend Diver 36.
Sunburst.
Red band already.
Like a red sunburst-ish.
Red kind of ruby-ish dial really fits into what I'm doing with my whole red thing. Red band on everything. I'd like to try it.
Can we try it out?
Yeah, can we try it?
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to wear on you. It's quite small.
I know, but lately I'm supporting this smaller diameter.
I'm all for it. I
Yeah.
am all for it.
It's gonna be
Lately, he's been supporting the
very
smaller
stylish.
diameter.
I never used to do it, but now I am.
You don't need a big watch. It's like,
I brought several pieces that
but this
way.
is
What are
bigger.
we thinking? Actually,
I think it
that-
looks pretty good.
I think it works.
You know, when you're a fashionista like me, you can pick style out 5 yards away. Now let's talk about price point. What are we talking about here? 2,000. Yeah, baby.
Oh, that fits right in the price
Come
point. I
on.
like this one.
2,400
I'll take that
out
one
of
over the other
12,500
one for sure.
budget,
Let me
and
know in the
I'm-
comments below what you guys think.
Look, already I'm kicking Teddy's ass here. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
All right, all right, all right.
That's my choice.
I'm gonna give it to him.
Very
Yeah, I'll
stylish.
give it to Mr. Wonderful on this
Love
one.
it. Okay. All right. Where are we now?
Wait, look at that. Look at that ticky movement too.
Budget. And
Look at that.
Already I'm
mechanical.
kicking Teddy's ass here. This is
Oh, I
amazing.
like that a lot. That's
Absolutely
nice.
all right, all right, all right.
That's my choice. Very stylish.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot.
Okay. All right. Where are we now? Oris. Tell us about the brand, Teddy.
So Oris is based in the Swiss-German part of Switzerland. Independent
Oris.
brand. Really cool use of the classic
Interesting colors, interesting faces.
materials. They were one of
Whoa, look at this one. This one's cool. That green one definitely catches your eye out of all those, right? I like that. I like that teal turquoise color. But this green, this weird metallic green, is matrix green. It's really cool.
the early adopters of bronze. They recently unveiled new caliber 400, so that's getting their 5-day power reserve. They have $2,000.
When he talks about a 5-day power reserve, he's talking about like in the watch. Maybe it's a mechanical or maybe it's your own wind up, but it'll go for up to 5 days if you put it down and you're not moving your watch to rewind it, basically. Because some watches have internal cut mechanisms that you move around, it'll twist and basically rewind your watch, so it'll last longer because it has no battery. It's your movement is the battery.
Mostly their Solita movements, and then they extend up from there.
Very interesting dial work here. I mean, look at this. These blues, these pinks, these are sort of Terra kind of thematic, which
Yeah, they do use the bronze. I'm not seeing anything I'm in love with here.
It's very hot these days. Also, that looks like a 3638 maybe.
That's a 38 for the pointer date.
Yeah,
It's a nice watch.
These are very nice pieces. What's the price point in this?
So those are all in the $2,000 range, except the one in the top right. That one's going to be higher because that has the caliber 400, so that's going to be around in the threes.
Attractive.
Yeah, I like that one in the right
Also
corner
looking
out of
down
all
here
of
for the
those the
bronze
most.
stuff.
It's your
but
call though.
Not in
It's
love
your
with it.
pick. Anything in here you're going to go with?
You know what? I'm going to go with the pointer date. This is my favorite collection.
Look at this color. This is interesting. Like, you don't typically have colors like this.
I liked your idea of going with the red.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to get a bronze case out of it and bracelet.
Yeah. I mean, bronze is hot these days. I mean, it's just
So hot right now. But look at that cool. Okay. Look at that weird.
That's a very attractive watch.
This date thing is really cool.
Risky because remember, I have the opportunity to do a switcheroo on him at the end.
He's not going to do double red.
I might. You don't know. But
You
you know,
can't.
it's my option, which is what I love. Teddy's in a bad situation here, but he's made a good call on this.
All right, I'm getting up there.
All right, so that's half your budget blown
Yes.
already.
A little bit less than half.
It's okay.
Okay.
I like the blue
We don't
bronze.
have
Yeah.
to go in order. We don't have to go brand by brand.
No,
you
I
can jump
know,
around.
I know. I'm just, you know, I'm looking at dials. You know, I'm a dial guy. These dials are very interesting, very interesting. I'm looking for stuff that I don't have in my collection already in terms of dial. And also, Oris is, you know, I have nothing from them in my collection because to me it was a watch that, you know, wasn't collectible initially. But now that you've got me into these entry-level watches, I'm getting such remarkable outcomes. People are asking me all about them.
They do a lot of crazy limited editions. There's some over here that they've done. So this is the Okavango editions. It has that green
I like this. I do like that.
texture dial. Same
Yeah.
here with this New York
How many
Harbor
pieces-
edition.
how many-
And then you have
That
these-
looks like a 39 or 40, right?
That's a 41, I
41,
believe.
so a
Yes.
larger dial, yeah. What about this?
That's a Diver 65.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is kind of where they're more traditional.
I
1960s,
like that a lot.
just minimalist looking dive watch.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm thinking maybe I make a move here for the first time on Oris.
Okay.
And I go limited edition and I go green dial, 40 mil, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what I'm thinking.
You want to pull
I'm-
that out? Wanna take a
Yeah,
look?
let's pull that out.
I'm digging it, dude.
Once you can take a
Mr.
closer
Wonderful
look at this dial,
nailing
it's
them so
pretty
far, in my
subtle, too.
opinion.
So there's a lot of texture in that dial.
So this was for they do a lot of like altruistic causes and connections. So this is for like a doctor's organization that do a lot of like relief work in Africa.
Yeah.
And this dial is made to resemble like the grassy plains as you're in helicopter. They do a lot of this like relief. So that's the whole point of that dial and what they're trying to emulate there.
Well, you certainly know the story on this piece. It's very different, and that's what I like about it. And
It looks
will
cool.
work
It's definitely
with the
very
red band,
different.
which is always my
Cool story.
consideration. Can I put the watch? Can I put the piece on television? So you
And so
know,
far, he's gone for like 2 NATO straps too.
you can
Interestingly,
see that it's going
the bezel. I'm not in love with that bezel, but it's interesting. It's weird. Not often do you have like that weird / turning around with it.
to work.
Christmas party right now. Right
Yeah,
there.
well,
Red and
you got
green.
it. It's okay. It's okay. So
I like
that's
it.
2.
Okay, fair.
All right, let's move
Dude,
on,
yeah,
let's
he's
move on.
killing.
Now I have dived into Hamilton.
Hamilton's a sweet brand.
And Hamilton just went up in price.
It's a great, and it's one of my go-to pieces when I'm traveling because it looks good. It was brass, if you recall what I bought. I don't even see it here anymore.
Yeah, the bronze is gone. Yep.
bronze.
I think this is a good opportunity to get my chronograph. I'm gonna do the green dial intramatic chrono.
Okay, you got me there. I'm not in love with it, but I like this idea. This gray reminds me of something I don't know what, but it's interesting. I like the clean white on the outside. I like this. I like aspects of it. Let's see what Mr.
Oh, I
Wonderful's
like
got.
that. What's the price on that?
That's just over $2,000.
I mean,
Like 21.
That's a great price for that. See, I mean, like it's when they're in this type of price range. Yeah,
chose wisely, and I may just take it from him at the end. We'll see.
I like
yeah,
that
you might have to.
pastel
Like that's a nice one.
looking green.
Yeah, yeah.
Sharp.
Works
Great
with that
price
leather
point,
band.
too.
Would also work with a red band. So
He's already setting things up for
I know,
himself.
I-
No. You're not taking that
All right,
one.
so
I'll
now
fight
you
for
have
it.
3, right?
I have 3.
Okay, and you're still under 12,000.
I'm still under 12,000. I think I have some room to grow too. So
Let's
I'm good.
just quickly gaze over here.
Nito is a brand, and they don't have the craziest selection here.
No.
Nothing.
But in terms of what they do for the dollar amount, I handle their pieces, and I'm like, I'm always impressed. They have their Ocean Star collection, which is more their
Okay, I like that.
dive watches.
I like
their
ideas of it.
Multi-Ford is more of just kind of their everyday, and then they have things.
I also like that
This
clean.
is a Bar and Shelley watch.
This one is. I like the pointers, but beyond that, and I like that blue, but I'm not sure I like that face.
All of these
Classic dress. I mean, you know, that is such a classic look. What's the price point on this stuff?
You're talking about $1,000 for
That's
that
very
watch.
good. That's very good.
So it's very well done.
These are mechanical movements?
Mechanical movements. They're owned by the Swatch Group as well, so they're kind of...
I used to think that was negative, but after I've seen what they did with Omega, I'm very impressed with Swatch being able to differentiate these brands and maintain price point.
Think about all the luxury groups. Every luxury group is specifically only catering to the luxury segment. When you think about Swatch, they have everything from Swatch all the way up to Breguet.
Yeah.
It's diversification, and I agree with that philosophy too. As a collector, I think everything should be represented.
So I may be only getting one more piece, so I've got to be careful. That's interesting. Yes, but what about Rado?
So Rado is very well known in countries like Pakistan, some other places in the Middle East. The things like the Diastar, crazy looking.
Yeah, like a Compass Rose feeling from it, right? Also like a little car feeling.
Watch. That's what they're known for, but also what they're known for is their use of ceramic in the Middle East. The things like the Diastar, crazy looking watch. That's what they're known for, but also what they're known for is their use of ceramic.
Is there no numbers though?
Diastar.
There's no numbers.
Crazy looking watch. That's what they're known for, but also what they're known for is their use of ceramic. So they do some of the most attainable ceramic made watches and bracelets.
It's okay.
Watches that you can find out there on the market. So not as caught on.
I mean, it's cool it says Captain Cook, but the color is a little...
I own one of their
saying
pieces too.
the bezel is ceramic on this piece?
Bezel's ceramic, and
I like that a little better.
they also have, you know, this is a woman's piece, but you can see that is fully ceramic case and everything.
This very much reminds me of a Tudor look, even with the dial itself.
Want to know
I'm not in love with it.
something personal? I own that watch exactly.
Really?
I do.
I'm not in
Well
love with
then,
it.
what's the price point on that?
Clean.
It's over $2,000.
I'm taking it. That's it. That's my third piece right there.
Now he's jocking my style and everything. Look
No,
at this.
No. Please, can we open that up?
Let's
Let's
do it.
check it on my wrist. This is a really interesting shopping spree. I'm getting some great...
Are you kind of surprised with how much?
I am surprised. Very classic look. Beautiful dial. I mean, look
at that.
You can see it from across the room. It's sporty.
It is.
It's divey.
Yeah,
but
it's okay.
also elegant.
It's
and
okay.
An incredible price.
$2,000, and it's thin. I mean, I don't know if you feel it, but like
The
that's pretty
face
thin
is
for a
super
diamond.
clean.
I mean, who knew? Who knew? You could go with a cheapo like Teddy and get some great pieces.
Get out of here with that.
Get out of here.
Okay, so let's do some we'll do some tallying of money left. So
All
you've
right.
spent total. Let's see, $2,000. This is $2,500. So you're looking at $4,500 there. So that's $6,900.
All in.
$6,900.
Three pieces, $6,900, and I still have money to spend.
A lot of money to burn.
Really interesting. Let's keep going. So here's the situation. Teddy has $4,000 left to spend.
Okay, the Longines right there look so much better than what we were seeing in the original picture. The Hamilton, the Oris, they look different than the video, right? Don't they look different? Like in the picture, they look so nice.
And from his $12,500, and I have $5,600 left.
And then these pictures don't look as good as the video. This in video looks so good. Looked great. I did not really like that Rado. Let's see.
Here's the
In
situation.
picture form, I do like this Longines. Oris is okay. Hamilton's good.
Against the 12.
I really like this red Longines. Oh man, that ruby red is so nice. Cool green grass here at the Oris.
$12,500.
I'll pass on that Rado.
Teddy can't control his spending bid, and he's running out of money. I have three pieces. He's got three pieces.
Wait, what's the
Mine
cross?
against the $12,500. Teddy can't control 600 left. Here's the situation. He's running definitely.
Okay, yeah.
All right. We are control his spending bid, and he's running out of money. I have three pieces. He's got three pieces. We are definitely getting one more watch out of this each.
I'm gonna try to get two.
Wow. Okay, so let's go. You're up now, right? All right. Back at Tissot. Very
wanna save some
Tissot, I
money.
like Tissot a
very
lot.
famous Swiss brand.
The last 2 years, there's been no watch under $1,000 that has caused as much of just fanaticism as this watch right here. Tissot PRX.
It's the upgrade
Really?
of this one.
Yes.
Why?
This is a PRX right here.
It was able to forecast the trend. Of
And that's
the
a
integrated
PRX
sports look.
Powermatic 80. The difference being that that's mechanical. You twist it yourself. Got its own self-winding mechanism too after that. So, you know, you put it down for a couple days, it'll hold its charge. But if you put it down for too long, you might have to self-wind it again. But if you wear it, it'll keep itself power. What I love about it, look at that wrist, look at that bracelet. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love that color. The color, unfortunately, for this one that I really like only came in the quartz version. So I made a decision. I'm like, I just want that quartz version. But this mechanical is so clean. Definitely keep your eye on it.
And then what ended up happening we saw with all the hierology brands, everybody's getting
The
their
texture is interesting, very cool.
hat in the ring. They were able to do it
Good loom on those.
with a really well done integrated style bracelet case, and coming in at price starting with the quartz one just south of
But
$400.
that band.
That's the quartz one. I really like the quartz one. They don't have my green one pictured, but that is what I have, and it is. Oh man, it's just so nice. Great, affordable Swiss movement watch, in-house movement, and like if you're looking for like a great adult watch that just nice little catcher, $200 to $300 or so on Amazon for these Tissot PRXs. If you want, and that'll last for about 5 years or so, that battery, before you just take it to the jeweler, pay him $5-10 and he'll put in a new battery. This watch, 10, 15, 20-year watch, easily. You could hand that down. And then the PRX automatics, the PRX 80s, about $300 more, so about $600, maybe sometimes on sale for $400 to $500. Great mechanical watch too.
But
And it's got like the 70s style look. It's like so classic and clean. There's 35 millimeters and there's the regular 40s. It comes down to the bezel and what fits best on your wrist size.
that band, that's a legacy look for this brand.
It is. This is from a C-Star model from 1970s.
Right.
And I was in Switzerland, and I
My
saw
watch should be
them
up
pull this
here.
out of a tray from the 1970s. And
Right.
it's
But I have
basically
a
a
broken
1 to 1 if you
wrist.
look at their 35 millimeters.
For my broken wrist, that's
Everything old
funny.
is new again.
My wrist, my watch is hanging a little low. Wristwatchers watching this would be like, oh, his wristwatch. Yeah, I got a broken wrist, and I should wear it on my right hand, but I'll wear my G-Shocks and stuff like that on my right hand. That I'm not afraid of bonking on my left hand. And I'm a lot more sensitive about bonking. I definitely will wear my nicer watches. Try and wear it up here, right?
Is the lesson on this. Caught the wave yet a second time decades later. Exploded on the scene. What's the price point?
For the automatic, which I'm going to go for, $650.
So clean.
Incredible. I mean, you've got a classic look for under $1,000, $600. That's insane. That's
It's
Swiss
insane.
made.
And like that brushed steel, it's so good. It's gorgeous.
yeah.
80-hour power reserve, Swiss movement, automatic. It's got this nice kind of tapestry kind of dial.
That must be immensely popular at $600.
Different colors.
We work with Tissot. We sell them on our site. People can't get enough.
Yeah.
They can't get enough.
Well, let's get it out. Let's get this piece
a great
out.
watch.
Put it to the collection. That's really remarkable.
Check out that bracelet. Like also just like
The
running on.
bracelet.
I mean that's for $600 because where brands usually skimp out when you're talking about this price range is the bracelet.
And what's different about this, it never catches my hair. Sometimes you've got cheap bracelets that catch your hair. It never catches my hair. It's incredible.
They just try to
Feels
make
beautiful. Automatic piece.
And I'm hairy.
I mean, that is a really stunning dial as well.
They don't have it here, but they also just recently unveiled a chrono version of that
Yeah.
under $2,000.
But I must say, as just a clean, classic look, an everyday fantastic go-to watch, and I didn't select it, so good for you, Teddy, but I may steal it from you later. We'll have to see. You know,
$600. That's all it cost me.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, that's good. My turn. I'm looking for now brands that I've never touched before.
I recommend going with the Tissot if you're looking for an introductory Swiss watch.
Have you ever looked at Norcane?
I've never looked at Nortain. Why don't you give us the quick rundown?
So they're a new upstart brand in the last 5 years, but they've been adopted pretty quickly for a lot of more traditional retailers because of what they've been doing from a manufacturing perspective. So they actually have access to Keneasi movements. Keneasi is who makes Tudor movements.
Right.
So they're utilizing some of their movements in
Tudor movements, I think they're Rolex movements as well.
their watches. So that's why
Let's talk
Rolex makes Tudor,
this piece here with the green
or at least
dial.
they own Tudor.
What's the story on that?
So this is their GMT, and this is actually using one of their Keneasi movements, bronze case. So I think your price there, I think you're looking at the 4s for that, but we can
Let's
double
find
check.
out. This caught my eye. It's very stunning.
It's going to eat a good amount of your budget.
Doesn't matter. Style, you know, I'm really putting together a selection that's going to kick your rear end.
$4,150.
Well within my price point.
And let's see here too. If I can get this to unscrew, if I can. Oh, they have it taped down. But this is a true GMT movement as well. So you have isolated function of that local hour hand.
Into the collection it goes. I mean, it's stunning. And
All
it's
right,
going to
okay.
look great with a red band on it. Very interesting. I've got such diversity in my dials.
Yeah, you do.
Contest.
But you got a
Really
lot of
amazing. What a
fabric
selection.
dials.
And so what does that leave me left? I had 56, and I just spent what?
4,000.
Yeah.
150.
So
About $1,500 give or take.
Yeah, $1,500. So I could probably pull another watch out of this. You don't know. What are you going to do?
Can I
Okay,
get one
see how much
final check of my?
You have how much? 1,400 bucks. Oh
You
yeah,
don't know.
easily.
What are you going to do?
Can I get one final check of my price? I have $3,300.
Terrible at math, Teddy. Terrible.
Yeah. I can't remember. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, you're limited now. There's not much you can do. You're down at under $1,000, right?
No, I have $3,300.
How much?
$3,300.
My mistake. You have plenty of room.
Yeah. I'm really close with this Baume & Mercier. Let me just check what the price is on this Baume & Mercier, because I think this could be my last pick. This white dial Baume & Mercier.
Yep.
On the bracelet, I'm right on the edge.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe.
right.
I'm not in love with it.
So $3,000. I'm gonna do it.
Different.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Who would have known?
Diversity of dial. I have my dress watch.
You can
I
still
have
get
two
another
everyday
Tissot.
watches, one with a bronze case. I then also have my PRX, which is kind of my beater. I can do it all with it.
Yeah.
Chronograph. And then I have my more out there, but also diving capable.
So I
Pretty
have
little.
room for
I
one
do
more
like
piece.
Teddy's variants there he's talking about.
I think I have $1,300 left. What do I have left? Do we know? Let's have a quick look.
The first time we did this, the person that was helping us screwed up. And then I went over, and then Kevin penalized me for it. So we have to do the math. It's very important.
See, I keep them honest to the rules. I mean, that's the whole thing. I'm compliant.
$1,450.
$1,450 left. That will allow me to get one more piece, I think, but very limited in where I can go.
You could pretty much only go to Hamilton.
Yeah. I was
Maybe
looking
some
at Tudor,
Rado.
but I don't think I can go to
No, Tudor, you're not going to have room. Could do a Mito, too.
Yeah, I haven't done this. What do you think? Is that?
Right here,
Yeah.
the one in the front.
Yeah.
So
I
that's-
like that. Let's see. And for a one,
So that's
okay.
the Patrimony. It's a great watch, and
And-
that's well within your price range.
Yeah, but you have no metal
I'll take
watches.
that, because I don't have a dial like that. I'm really going dials.
You-
so that's
you went all
probably gonna get
dials.
me right
Straps
before
didn't
there's
matter to
nothing
him.
left. I have a
I want
little
at least
bit of
one
cash.
metal.
You might have a
I do
little
like the fabrics
small
now.
Sliver.
I have
Right
a
here.
little small sliver. I'll probably go out for dinner in
Could
New
also
York.
afford another Tissot.
Looks like I have plans this evening.
You say you rep these guys?
We do. They do surprisingly well, because I think once you get this in your hand, there's sports watches, I think, even more so, but this is a really killer piece.
Yeah, it's a dress watch, you know.
It has more of a sector kind of dial. You have the Longines sector, but I think this is different enough. You have the dates.
Beautiful. Just check that out. Very, very stylish.
That's great.
And the price again?
You're just under $1,000, I believe, for that. You're right on $1,000.
$1,000.
Yep. So I am going to just take a knee. I'm going to run out the clock. I am done.
Yeah, I think I'm done too, because what can I get for $450?
Well, there is one
Tissot.
thing.
What is it? You're kidding.
You can get this Tissot PRX right on there, on
Damn.
the strap.
Well, why wouldn't I take that? Let's open the case. Come on, that is amazing. Just to actually have one extra watch to you.
I'm just being nice now. I'm being nice. Because maybe you'll be nice to me.
Well,
I don't want to
maybe.
steal anything.
Anything can happen.
Look at that. $325.
Look at that.
That's nice.
Now that's the quartz, so it is different.
That's okay.
Yep.
But, you know, who said you can't get a great watch at an affordable price?
That certainly is.
PRX at a really incredible price point. That is just amazing. I'm stunned. Well, you know, Teddy, I will say I've learned something here today, but again, it's cost you because I've kicked your butt one more time.
No. We
300
know the rules here. We have to get them all lined up.
$325. All
I
right.
told you about that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, let's put it over here.
Have some respect when we do this now.
All right,
Don't be
so
stealing.
let's look at this.
All right, so let's pull. We're gonna pull them all together.
Fantastic.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull them all together.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our final lineup, and then you can make your final decision on what we
Exactly.
want to do.
Exactly.
Let's do it. All right, Kevin. So we have all the watches in front of us. Let's just go through each one. So I have a Baume & Mercier.
Just before you start,
Yeah,
Teddy, I
please.
want to make a statement about this experience, because remember, we started with $12,500. I was thinking before we did our shopping spree, maybe 3 pieces.
Right.
But that's not what happened. There are so many remarkable timepieces in this store that you can actually build a full collection. I consider collection started when you get 3 pieces of any collection. When you're a watch owner, when you get to 3, you're a collector. And you could start with $1,200, $500 to become a major collector, because I'm at 5 pieces here. And then I'm extraordinarily amazed that I got to 6 on the 12,500. And Teddy, you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have one more watch in even a better collection than Teddy has before he even starts talking about it. Again, this contest, I know already who won, but that's okay. Teddy's learning. He's the grasshopper. He's learning from the master. That's the way I look at it.
Teddy.
To go through the
Funny.
watches, we have the Bomber Mercier Clifton Balmatic. This
Okay.
has a 5-day power reserve, probably one of the most remarkable movements you're going to find for the money. And my Tissot PRX for $650 for
I like
that
that.
money, hard to beat. Then I have my Oris Big Crown Pointer Date in bronze. Then I move over to my Hamilton Intramatic Chronograph.
That's a hell of a piece, by the way.
Uh-oh, I don't like how he's talking right
yeah.
now. And then I have my Ultrachron from Longines, which is a marvel in terms of its movement and what it's bringing forward.
Because you're my advisor on these low-end entry-level watches.
Absolutely, happy to do it.
Keep going.
Norcane GMT, this one surprised me in bronze with a Canisi movement on the inside. Then
Okay.
You have your Legend Diver here for the
Yes,
twos
I like
at
that.
36 millimeters, which was an interesting choice. This was the surprise. You had a just over $300 PRX, so you're going for the quartz version, but to add an extra watch,
Got one.
who wouldn't do that? Then you have your Big Crown Okavango edition from Oris, Rado Captain Cook, Gray Ceramic, then your Mito.
Yeah.
We had no money left over. We spent pretty much all of our money.
Yeah, but we got some amazing pieces for $12,500, which I think, of all the things we've done together, Teddy, this is going to be a mind blower because people do not make the assumption they can get even one watch for $12,500. You come to Turno Bookworm, you come downstairs here.
Wait a second. This guy, Teddy Lask is like, yeah, you don't. Teddy's got people in our price ranges that give you like 12.5. Are you kidding me? I'll put that in my house.
But we got some amazing pieces for $12,500, which I think, of all the things we've done together, Teddy, this is going to be a mind blower because people do not make the assumption they can get even one watch for $12,500. You come to Turno Bookworm, you come downstairs here, you cruise all of these displays, and you will immerse yourself in legend watches.
Scooters, Rolexes.
Incredible pieces. Again, touting this store as being probably one of the best places to shop for watches on earth. I've been all over the world. I've never seen anything like this. They spent a fortune building it, but it's worth it. All right, Teddy.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to amaze you because I've looked through both collections. Your collection, my collection. My collection, let me put it this way. This collection, if it was a kitchen and it had a sink and it had a drain, would flush onto this collection. This is the elevated collection here. This is absolutely, so I'm not going to do any swap.
You're not going to do anything.
Because I've clearly, I've kicked your ass here today, and I just know that. I'm going to let you vote, obviously. Collection, my collection.
All right, so his is $200 more, 225, $250 more. So I like that face. Yes. That looks great right there in that gold green. That does look good. But this is kind of similar here. These two, right? If I had to choose one, they're very similar here. And then you get a nice little. So I mean, like, yes, no. Between one of these two, I would pick. I think the maybe the Mito then, because I need that color. Then let's see the Tissot. I might take the other Tissot because I already got the PRX. I get the PRX 80. So yes, no, yes, no. So 1, 2, 3.
My collection.
Let's see what I take from
Mix of there's
Teddy's. No. Maybe. Yes. No. So yeah, I'll take the Hamilton and the Tissot PRX from his. And that's my collection. Woo. Let me know your guys' collection in the comments below. It's a lot of fun. Playing a little make-believe.
No, I don't need to change anything. My selections are beyond perfect. They are just the most incredible mix of dials, sport, new looks, amazing brands. Why would I want to touch it? I was going to go after your Hamilton, but now that I see
You have too much green. You'd have too much green. You have two green dials already.
You know, green does work in a Christmassy-like way with red, because all of these are going to end up with red bands on them. But, you know, if I went to green, and you're saying I have too much green, I have the same problem if I take over your Hamilton, which is the only one you've selected I really, really am interested in. So the rest, though, I mean, I did get a green vibe today, you're right, but I'm very happy with it. What fantastic watches, and what a great session with Teddy. We will see you next time.
And leave comments down below. Tell us who won in the comments. Did I finally win? I don't know what's going on. Something's in the water. I don't know what's going on in the world. They think Kevin's winning these things.
Can you have more fun than this? If you love watches.
That's awesome. That was a lot of fun. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this Wednesday night in Spitfire. Thanks for joining us here. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Fire it up, footballers. Have a great one. Later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for kicking that like button. Thanks for commenting. Connor saying, "What's up, James? I'll be on SOP for the MLS season back live. That starts in 10 days. That's awesome, Connor. Good to hear. All right, everybody. I'll sign off. I'll catch you guys next time at Spitfire. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you guys and check out Connor over at SOP. Good to hear. We've got MLS heating up in 10 days. Of course, the Fire start a little bit after that. I think their first game is going to be March 4th. Where they take on New York City. But of course, you'll be able to catch all the action on SOP on YouTube as well as Apple TV Plus. All right, guys, catch you on the next stream. Have a great one next Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out. Fired up, footballers.